Hello everyone, and in this video, the goal is to earn $1,000. The balance is currently $20,000, so the goal is not too ambitious, but it is achievable. I will trade using the alligator indicator strategy. I will now explain in detail how to trade using this strategy. In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and give a like. So, let's get started. First, you need to find an asset where all three moving indicators point in the same direction. For example, here we see that all three moving indicators point in the same direction and the price is moving downward. Here is a similar situation. We see that the three moving indicators point upward without crossing, which is very important, and the price is moving upward. When such a moment occurs, meaning the moving averages cross, we do not trade here. This situation does not interest us. We only look for such moments or such moments. So, we look and see the moving averages are crossing. Let's switch to another currency pair. Here, all three moving indicators point in the upward direction, so 1 minute, we enter for an upward trade. Also, why 1 minute? Because we are looking at the asset on a 1 minute time frame. It is also very important to consider the time frame you are trading on. If you are trading on 3 minutes, enter the trade for 3 minutes. So now, exactly what to do if the first trade results in a loss? If your first trade is a loss, there is a strategy. First, we enter the first trade, it results in a loss. We note here that this is a zero trade. For the next trade, we do a martingale in the opposite direction. This will be our first martingale, which is in the opposite direction. And the second martingale, if needed, is again in the direction of the price movement, which means upward. So if the first trade is upward, then the second martingale will also be upward. In this strategy, there should be no more than 2 martingales. So, we check this. Theory. We see that our first trade is in the negative, and we always make the martingale 2.5 times larger. We also conclude a catch-up we only after as the trade is closed, meaning after the previous trade has closed, we open the next one. Martingales cannot be opened simultaneously. It is not recommended, and in principle, this strategy will not work. So, let's look at another currency pair. Always look at the deposit, that is, the amount you are entering the trade with. Let's go back. And we see that all three moving averages point in the same direction and the price is moving downward. That is, without crossing. This is almost an ideal situation. Here we also enter for 1 minute for a decline. So, what do we have with the first currency pair? Well, we see 10 seconds. In principle, this is a confident profit. Although there is no crossing specifically at this location, this particular martingale is made so that in case the price movement changes, that is, the upward trend shifts to downward, we control this effectively with the second martingale. And we see that there was indeed an upward movement, and now there will likely be a downward movement. Well, this can be viewed using another indicator, namely the stochastic indicator. We see that the price is currently in the overbought zone and most likely a downward movement will follow. That's not the focus right now. We are trading according to the strategy specifically with the alligator. Here, what do we have? Here, our first trade is closing in profit, basically. We can stay on this asset as everything here is practically by the book. We see that the sliding is smooth, without intersections, excellent movements, a great downward trend. We can stay here. Let's take another look. The exact same situation, only in the opposite direction. Here, the exact same situation, only on the rise. We see that the yield, by the way, is quite good, 90-89%, 90-89% for us. Any currency pairs with a yield of more than 75% are suitable. In this case, during the martingale, when you use a bet that is 2.5 times larger, you will not only cover the loss from the previous trade but also earn on top. So, let's see what we have here. We can also look at the stochastic indicator. We see that the price is in the oversold zone and is currently moving upward. Therefore, our martingale strategy will be logical. So, $500 for an upward movement. Here we have $200 for an upward movement, so $500 for a downward movement. We wait for the end of the trade, this is very important. And we enter a trade for a downward movement. Trading should be done according to money management rules, specifically entering a trade with 1 to 5%. Only in this case will you not lose your money, and you will always have funds for martingale to always work through each currency pair you trade. That is, as I demonstrate in my videos. I also remind you that in the description you will find a link to my Telegram channel where I post training and signals absolutely for free. So go ahead, subscribe and earn together with me. Now let's take a look at the first currency pair. Yes, we see that according to the stochastic, the price was in the oversold zone and now a pullback is happening and basically our martingale makes sense. We are taking our profit. The same situation is happening here. We can also look at the stochastic. We see that we were in the overbought zone and now a pullback is occurring. So let's take a look at another currency pair. Here we don't have such a long history, and I want to demonstrate a moment when it is not advisable to trade at all. We see here that the price changed its movement very often, meaning here the price seems to be going down, here it seems to be going up, and here again down. We skip this asset. It is not worth trading on this asset. You should only trade in situations like this one. Here, all three moving averages point in the same direction. When such a situation occurs, it is not worth trading, just switch to another asset. So, here we see a pullback, not interesting. There is also a very frequent crossing of moving averages, which we can skip as well. In principle, we still need about 1-2 trades. Trade. Here we see that all three moving averages point in the same direction. In principle, we can enter, changing the amount to $200. I definitely recommend trading with this strategy on pairs without OTC, as there is more volatility in OTC, but I think it works in principle on any currency pairs. So, let's take a look. There might be more opportunities for a decline. Although I think that after this trade we will achieve our goal. It is also desirable that whenever you start your trading, you have a goal in mind you want to achieve today. That is, you monitor your trading, you have, roughly speaking, $500 in your balance. Want to earn 10%, which means $550, and not to trade more? It is advisable to sit down with a ready goal and trade only with a cool head, so as not to lose your funds, so to speak. We see that we have 5 seconds left. Do we need a martingale or not? Well, we'll find out now. It seems like we don't need it, right? Yes. The trade is closed. Overall, not bad. Let's see what we have. By the way, we traded with martingales yesterday. There was a video, you can check it out on the channel. Today this trade also performed quite well. A good story. Therefore, I remind you that the link to Pocket Option with a 50% bonus is in the description. Wishing everyone good trading and goodbye.